Happy Tuesday. All right, my writers, as you're writing in your writer's notebooks today, I want you to remember that it is important that writers don't just write one line, right? That's Writers write more, they write more detail, right? They push themselves. They push themselves to write as much as they can, which is why I was asking you to try to set a timer or set a time limit because sometimes if nothing comes to us right away, we might give up right away. And we don't want to give up. As writers, we want to push ourselves to write a little bit more. Now, I know that sometimes it's hard to come up with that initial idea. Like maybe there's not something right there sitting in your brain that you're so excited to write about, but it's important that we try to push ourselves to find something exciting to write about. We never know what is going to be our next great story. So, today I'm going to go over how we can come up with ways to figure out if we're not sure and we're stuck, then there are ways that can help to trigger our brains. So, like yesterday, Jaden, you were telling me how you didn't really know what to write about, right? And we wound up writing about breakfast. It wound up being a great entry. It wound up being cool. You chuckled at yourself with your too much cream cheese, but that's great. That's great that we got that down on paper. But you, as writers, need to be able to help yourselves figure out those topics. So there's three things that we can do in order to help ourselves trigger that brain and think about something important to write about or something that will be fun to write about. So here we go. I'm going to turn my screen so that you can see this blank piece of paper here, because a lot of times I know that as a writer, you're sitting here staring at your blank page and not knowing exactly what to write on that blank page. So I'm going to help. All right. Writers will often think about people that they know. Okay, so they will maybe think about the people in their family or friends that they know. They might think about the people in their school or the people, if they're grown-ups, they might write about the people that they work with. But oftentimes writers will think about the people that they know. Okay. Also, sometimes writers will think about the places that they go. Okay. And for a visual for this, we're going to do a very simple house. Okay. A house is a place. It's a place that you go. It's a place that you spend a lot of time at, right? Now, does this mean that you have to write about a house? No, absolutely not. You do not have to write about a house, but this gives you a visual or an idea that you can write about places that you go. I'm going to draw a tree also, and maybe that will spark the idea that you might also go to a park, or you might also go to a forest or a wood or hiking or anything like that. So, people that you know, places that you go. And then the last thing that we might think about are the things that we love. The things that we love. Okay. And that might be Xbox. That might be kitty cats. That might be Toy Story. It could be your scooters or your bikes or your fishing poles or your quads or the art that you're making. Anything that you love could be something that you could write about. So the people that you know, the places that you go, and the things that you love, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to bring this a little bit further because I'm going to show you how we can look at this inside our writer's notebooks. So I'm just going to change my screen very quickly, or as quickly as I can, to the writer's notebook, to my other camera, so I can show you my writer's notebook. Okay, so as you know, this is my writer's notebook. And I have lots of things written in here. And I'm going to turn to a blank page. And I'm actually going to try to turn to a blank page, 2 blank pages like this, so that it's almost like a split screen. So if you have 2, the next pages can be like this, and that would be amazing. If you don't have a notebook like this, you can use 2 separate pages, or you can just use 1 page and divide it as best as you can. Just give me 1 second. I have to steal a pencil away from the dog. Thank you. You may not chew on that. Okay. So here I am in my writer's notebook, and I want you to do the same exact thing that I'm doing. And you're going to need to take a picture of it and send it to me so that I can see that you have it in your writer's notebook, because this is going to be an excellent tool to help us with our writing as we move along. So over on this side, you're going to be writing the same thing that I showed you on the board. You're going to have your little stick figure. You can make him as detailed as you like. It is your writer's notebook, but as I am drawing upside down, mine is not going to be spectacular. So here I have my little man. And right next to that little man, you're going to write people I know. And remember, I'm writing upside down, so I expect you to have your neatest handwriting. People I know, okay? And then right under that, you can make a line if you want, or you don't have to. Right under that, you're going to draw that little house. And you'll have your door, maybe some bushes outside. Like I said, you can make it as detailed as you want. This is your writer's notebook. You just need to have at least a picture there, the picture that I have, and then you can add more to it if you like. So people that I know, this one is, what is it? Places, yep, places. I go, okay? And then on the bottom, you're going to have your heart, okay? Just candy cane, and then a backwards candy cane, okay? And this is things I love. Okay? And if you need to catch up or you need to pause, just press the pause button on the video. Do what you have to do to catch up, and then press play again. Okay? Because I'm going to show you what you can do on this opposite page. Now, we're going to come right across with those lines, keep them sectioned off. And then in the top, people I know, you can list or put in here all the people you know. And it doesn't have to be all in lines and like all rigid, like one here, one here, one here. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my mom here. I'm going to put Eric here. That's my husband, Mr. Bjorkman. I'm going to put Ben is in my life, and Olivia is people I know. And I'm going to put Arabella is somebody I know. And Jaden. And Abby. And I'm going to put Mrs. Torres. These are all people I know, so I'm going to list them in that box. Oops, hard to write an S backwards. This is Torres. Okay, or upside down. So I put all these different people that I know right across from my picture of people I know. So what do you think I'm going to do for the places I go? Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write school and the park, and I go into the woods a lot because I love to hike. So I'm going to write woods, and then I'm going to write my house I grew up in. And I'm going to write my house. I go there a lot, but you go to yours a lot too. And then you're going to write all the things that you love. So I think that you're getting the idea. And these can even be pictures in these boxes. You don't even have to write all the words. You could write some pictures. Like if you like your house, maybe you draw a picture of a house. If you like the woods, maybe you draw a picture of the trees. If you like playground, maybe you draw a picture of a swing or a picture of a slide. Okay, you can do pictures in here. You can do words in here. This is just to help you generate ideas for when you get stuck and you're not sure what to write about on a given day. Okay, and we're going to remember to date our page each time. Right? Every time we write something new, we're going to remember to date that page to make sure that we have a date at the top. All right. Great. So if you need to keep this up, you can pause it as you work in your notebooks. And then when you're all done, you can take a picture, send it to me. You can press play because there's one more thing that I want to show you. So the last thing that I want to talk to you about today is once we have an idea of what we're going to write about, it's helpful to know how to start our writing to get our brain flowing. Now, oftentimes you will see in storybooks, in stories about true things that happen to people, like in Creek Said the Bed, they start their stories in a special way. They might say something like, one time, and then they continue on the story. One time I blah, 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 blah. One time I went to the park, right? Or they might say something like, a long time ago. A long time ago, I had a play date with Carter and we ... right? Or maybe something like, just the other day, just the other day, I went to the dentist and ... Okay, so you're going to use the people that you know, the places that you go, and the things that you love, and you're going to start those stories, right? And when we start those stories, we start with those characters and the setting, and then we build up, and then we come back down to the end of our story, right? We all know what that is. We worked on that a lot. So good luck. Make sure you send me your work. I need to see it. Okay? And I hope that you have a really good day today. Bye.